Hello and welcome to This Week in Campbell Football with head coach Mike Minner. I'm Chris Haymeyer, and as always, we are powered by our friends at Dunn Benson Ford. Coach, you were on the road this last week in Indianapolis against a Butler team that had won this conference 2 out of the last 3 years. You led all but the final 37 seconds of the game. Your thoughts on that heartbreaking loss at Butler?
It was heartbreaking. I think that was the thoughts of, just the whole deal. And, we did dominate the whole game. And after the game, coach come up to me, man, we got lucky. I'm like, I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes. And, we came out fast. We wanted to come out fast. We really emphasized that going on the road, being a 12 o'clock game. That was something that we really emphasized. And we came out. We didn't come out flat. But they came out ready to go too. It was homecoming for them, and so they had that extra juice. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. Every game in conference play is going to be a dogfight, and it's not going to be anything where you're just going to roll over somebody. And that's what happened. And defense got a 3 and out real quick, and we get the ball, march down, we score. And I think what our team has to learn is how do you keep the momentum and not give it back to them. I think, Chawan, or I should say Presbyterian, we playing them, we score, we get extra point block, and they get 2 points. Now they get the momentum back. Well, in this game, we score, but they come right back and get some points. And then we score again, and then special teams give up a long run, and then that gets them good field position, and then they get 3 points out of that. So all of a sudden, man, every time we get momentum, they take it back. And then, like most games, you kind of get into that sleepy period, I guess, and everybody's kind of, when two evenly matched teams, it's going to be punt, 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 and then kind of get boring. And then we got into halftime. So we're going to halftime 14-10, feeling like we in control of the situation. We was going to get the ball back in the second half. How do we take the ball? My whole thing and message to the guys was, let's take the ball, let's score. Now it's 21-10, but defense and special teams, y'all got to step up to keep it going that way. Didn't work that way in the third quarter, but late in the third, we started to move the ball. Got into the fourth quarter, got a touchdown. I guess we did move the ball. Got on the yard line in the third quarter, and for some reason, we ended up at 4th and 6 opposed to 4th and inches, and threw the ball and got it picked off. I wish I would have kicked the field goal. I tell my guys that's on me, especially when you look at the end of the game, 25-24. You're like, oh, I wish I had them 3 points now. But at that moment in the game, I felt like we was in control, and I felt like I could put my defense on there, stop them, stuff them, get the ball right back, and go and try to march down there and get great field position, do it again. But we threw a pick. They got it on the 20 opposed to the 6. We did 3 and out them. We did get the ball back, but it's different field position at that time. And then, we kind of go from there, get in the fourth quarter. We get some big plays and get down there, score. Now we got another big play, but we only get 3 out of that. And what they did, man, in the last 6 minutes of the game was just, I've never seen stuff like what was going on. One-hand catches, flip the ball back, a lot of different trick plays, throw it up high, somebody catch it. It's just unbelievable what transpired in that deal. And then what I loved about our football team is this. We was down, and 40-something seconds left to go in the game, 37 seconds left to go in the game. We don't quit. We kept going, and we kept believing, and we kept fighting, and we get the ball all the way down to the 23-yard line. And really, I'm sure Landon, if he had this play to do it again, he'll just run the ball and get in the middle of the field. I got a timeout, call a timeout, and kick it. And hopefully, Oz hit it, and we win the game anyway. So, but it was a tough lesson. Man, that's a tough lesson. Tough lesson for all of us because we know that we're a good football team, and it's hard when leaving that phase 2, learning how to win, to learning how to deal with winning. It's hard to break through. But my message to the guys is champions get up, and when they get knocked down, that's true champions is they get up. But they just don't get up to continue to fight. They get up and win. That's the difference between true champion and just a tough guy. And we got to be true champions. We got to get back up off the canvas. Yes, it was tough. Yes, it was a hard loss. But we get off the canvas and get back up and fight and win.
Looking forward, Coach, one of the champions on your team, Ben Bolling, a senior receiver. He had a big catch that really put you guys down in position with that final 37 seconds. As you said, you guys came back. He, with that catch, as ironic as it is, he ends up now, he's tied for the career receiving yards record here at Campbell, tied for the most touchdowns in Campbell history. He's something special.
He's a great person. And I know I say that about my guys, but they are. They're just great people. They understand that life is bigger. They understand, what they represent. They represent their families well. They represent their university well, our football team well. And, he's a leader. He's grown from the time that I've gotten here to where he is today. And big moments. And he came up with a big play and a big moment. And that's what we expect from him, because he really worked hard this offseason to become a guy that we can depend upon and we can depend on 5.
Here's a closer look at senior wide receiver Ben Bolling.
One thing that I can always remember about Ben is that he's a hard worker, extremely hard. He's really focused and driven, and that's one of the things I respect him the most about him.
It's not always about being the most athletic or the most explosive guy. If you can just go out there and do your job on a daily basis, you can make plays and you can be a guy.
Following this catch late in the fourth quarter of last week's game, redshirt senior Ben Bolling is now 1 yard away from becoming #1 in Campbell receiving yards history.
When I came here for a reason that I didn't want to be just another number in a locker room. I didn't want to be just another name on a roster. I wanted to be somebody who helped build something.
Really he's become really mentally tough over the years and really not let any kind of adverse conditions really affect his play. I say as a young player, he may have struggled with that a little bit, but he's gotten so much better at that and really an example for what it should be on the team.
In fact, the near record holder in receptions, yards, and touchdowns was a quarterback in high school. That was before he came to Campbell and was converted to a wide receiver.
I took a lot of time to just watch the more experienced guys on the team, watch a lot of film of different guys, the LSU, bigger schools, big name schools, and just try to see what they do, little things that they do, little things that I can pick up on.
Just to see where he came from, where he is now, is pretty astounding. Like I said, that's all just a tribute to his work ethic, his hard work, and he's always kind of known from day one where he wanted to be, and I think he's pretty close to that.
Bolling is now on the edge of history, but his role has transformed from a player looking to earn his spot to one looking to show others how to gain that stature.
Ben and I both had the advantage of having some older guys who took us under their wing when we were freshmen, and being in that position makes you a little nostalgic and all of that, but it's really awesome to see that and to really have that effect on the team in the future, because we'll come back and be standing on the sidelines rooting these guys on in a few years, and they'll be great.
What motivates me is just continual effort, because I know what we have here and I know what we can be, and I just want to make that happen as best as I can. And I know at the end of the day, if my number is called, I have to be the one that steps up, and if it doesn't happen, it's on me. So I always think about that in the back of my mind, how somebody else there is working harder than you, and you got to be that one that's got to outwork him, especially coming from a school like this. I have to.
It's conference play, so we're going to be talking about this every week. A very good opponent comes in. This is a Drake team from Des Moines, Iowa. They have won 2 out of the last 4 PFL crowns. Last year, really, when you go back and look at it, they were a play away from winning another title. What is it going to take to compete with this Drake team?
Well, it's the same thing like last week. It comes down to alignment, assignment, technique. It comes down to want to. These guys are going to want to win. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna play physical. It's gonna be a physical 15-round old school heavyweight championship fight. And we got to be ready to go, and we got to be ready to match that, and we will. I have no doubt about that. And they flawless, man. They do not make mistakes. They execute well. We got to execute on our end, but this is a well coached football team. You got, I think, 9 seniors on defense, and so their defense is a well-oiled machine. Man, they really get it. They know where everybody's supposed to be, and they fly to the football. These guys, and when they get there with bad intentions. They don't just get there. They get there to hit you. And so our offense has got to come with their physical part of their game, which we will, and we got to make plays when plays present themselves all throughout the game. And that's going to be a big deal with us, is being able to run the football and stop the run. And then, from their offensive standpoint, these guys again will get the ball to the right people. Okay, they not flashy, they not cute. They just gonna run what they run. They gonna figure out how it works against you, and they gonna do it for 4 quarters. Okay, and that's what we got to be prepared for. It's not a cute game. This is an old school football game. So if you want to see old school football game, come here this Saturday.
Well, it's going to be a heavyweight bout for family weekend. Campbell back home. We'd love to see you for the conference home opener. It happens at 6 o'clock right here at Barker Lane Stadium. If you can't make it, we'll be on the air with live video coverage on GoCamels.com. For head coach Mike Minner, I'm Chris Haymeyer, and if we don't see you at the game this Saturday at 6, we hope to see you back here next week on This Week in Campbell Football.